All right, guys, what is up? Good morning. Welcome to the ATP Wealth Podcast, where we develop your ability to produce wealth. So today, we will answer the question, bakit ba nauubos ng biglaan ang pera ng mga lotto winners, celebrities, or athletes? Now, we encounter this story all too often na parang somebody wins the lottery, like 100 million, 200, 300 million, and then 2, 3 years down the road, naubos ang pera nila. Like NBA athletes who win big contracts and live like kings during their stay in the NBA. Tapos after like 2, 3 years, we hear stories of them being homeless on the streets. Bakit nangyayari yan? And we will explore it a little bit further, and I'll present one reason, one concept why it happens. It's not the only way to explain it, but it's one very good way to kind of frame the idea. Now, we have a very recent winner of like big money, si Carlos Yulo. He won. So far, ang total winnings niya is worth 113 million as of this video. And all those incentives, and that's a lot of money, for one person. Kaya na buhayin for the rest of his life, actually, if he plays his cards right. But I don't think he's done yet. Like, he has a lot more to win in life and in this journey. So, but before anything else, congratulations, Carlos Yulo. That's a serious feat, like 2 gold medals in the Olympics. So that's amazing, that his training paid off, and now he is financially rewarded for it. But and I want him to be able to keep that money as well. But there are some pitfalls that we can learn from that as well. So bakit ba yan siya nangyayari? Now, I'll answer that question. But before that, I just want to say thank you so much to the 586 subscribers so far to this channel. Guys, I feel so blessed to be with you in this journey. And I just really want to serve you and support you in your money journey, in your financial journey, in developing your ability to produce wealth. So thank you so much, guys. And let's continue this journey together. All right, so I want to answer that question. Ano ba yung kulang? Ano ba yung nangyayari? So I think I have limited time here. So I have 5 minutes to answer this question, guys. So I'll give you everything that I can in this short amount of time. So the concept is, it's called a money container. If you ever heard about this concept, great. If not, if this is the first time that you're hearing this, then welcome to this idea. It's called a money container. So kung meron kang container, guys, 'di ba? Think of it as a container of energy. So let's say money is energy. So when I say the word energy, ano ba yung first things na very real sa atin? So dalawa lang talaga, kuryente tsaka tubig, 'di ba? Yan, lahat ng bahay dito sa Pilipinas, kahit saan kang kahit sa probinsya, kahit walang kuryente, meron pa ring tubig, no? So like anyway, like if you're watching this video, then of course you would have electricity. You'd have access to electricity. So anyway, the container is able to hold like a certain amount of, let's say, water or energy or kurente. Yan lang talaga yung kaya niya ma-hold. If you pour in too much energy into it, sobra, then it will overflow. The container can crack, and the rest of the energy is wasted and not utilized. So it's the same concept with money containers. Like, people walk around with a certain number in their money container. Like, let's say, sabihin natin 10,000, you start with that. You have like a money container worth 10,000 pesos. And this is your comfort zone. Kaya mo ma-handle yung pera. You know how to budget this monthly salary of yours na 10,000 pesos. You walk around. I mean, I started there. Actually started at 6,500 a month. No, minimum wage. Started there, and then I medyo lumaki siya, 10,000. So yun yung parang nakasanayan ko. And then I walked around with that. And then if you pour 100,000 into that 10,000 peso container, if you're not ready for it, it's probably gonna just vanish. You don't know what happened. Like, nagasto mo dito, nagasto mo dyan. And before you know it, without setting the right intention or sorry, medyo mainit dito sa labas. I'm sweating. But anyway, I'm passionate about this topic. So continuing, like the money container overflows, and then it you don't know where the money went. No, so ganun ang nangyayari. So people, without putting in the work to develop their money container, they will eventually lose that money. So guys, this is a concept of a conceptual framework that I encourage you to work on and to think about. So sa money container, tatlo lang ang kailangan mo remember. Number one, entry. Number two, staying in the container. And number three, exiting the container. So think about these things. How does money enter the container? Like you think about, well, I have my bank, my employer sends the money to my bank account. That's the way it enters right now. Are there other ways? Are there other ports of entry? Are there other ways that you can develop? Like, can you build a business that can allow more money to enter that container? So that's one thing. Number two, if I ever have a windfall, can my container handle it? Windfall. So, yung malakihan na amount na money na hindi beyond the regular flow of money. So, think about that. How will I handle it? What's my plan? If I receive 100,000 pesos, what will I do with that money? So, if you are able to answer that question already, then that means you have a semblance of readiness for that money. Pero kung hindi mo ito iniisip, then you're probably not ready. If you don't have the answer to that question yet, then that tells you that you're not yet ready. But you can work on it just by simply thinking about it and sitting down, taking the time every day. Na, what am I gonna do with that kind of money? How will I earn that kind of money? If you take the time to sit down and think, and I tell you, like, nobody's thinking about this. I mean, not a lot of people are thinking about this. So if you take the time to sit down and think about it, then you're starting to open your mind, your persona, your character to be ready for that kind of money. Number two, staying in the container. How will the container be able to handle it? And what's the rules for staying in that container? So I would there's a lot to think about here, but you can create your own rules. But for me, of course, number one, I'm not gonna allow entry to some and staying for some money that's been stolen or taken out of illegal means, or parang cheated out of another person. That's a no in my money container. And I would obviously I would encourage everyone to have that kind of rule, but not everyone plays by those rules. No, so but I don't welcome that kind of energy in my life. So that's like one rule that I can share with you quickly. So medyo nagmamadali ako guys kasi I have limited time today. But I just really wanted to shoot this video for you. Number two, or number three is exit. So ano yung mga reasons ano yung mga allowable na reasons for you to allow an exit to your money container? So you have your overhead wherein this is your usual monthly expenses, like for of course like food, shelter, clothing, yung pinaka basic talaga na needs, medical, o yan, alam mo na yan na nasa usual flow mo talaga yan of expenses. Kung whether you're single or you have a family or depending on your life situation, you will know ano yung mga usual na expenses mo. Pero meron ka ding I'm accumulating something here. I'm doing something with this money. I'm assigning a purpose to this money. So it's going to stay in my money container. And the only reason that it can exit is for certain reasons, like maybe buying real estate or maybe investing in a business that I really believe in and I really want to test and try even if it fails. So meron ka ng business fund, meron kang parang safety net if you wanna venture to something like that. There are a multitude of reasons, but coming back to the original concept of like building and just developing that money container. So that's psychological. Like, how do I grow my money container? There is something called a practice. No, it's very specific to you as a person. You can answer the question of what do I need to do? What do I need to practice in order for me to grow my money container? So for some people, that may mean sitting down and just taking 5-10 minutes of your time to just meditate and think about, okay, what's holding me back in life? What's happening in my life? Are there relationships that I need to let go of? Are there relationships that I need to heal and reconcile? Do I need to be more courageous and bold in terms of reaching out and doing what I need to do to grow? There's so many things that only you can answer, and that's called generally speaking, it's called a practice that you need to develop if you're serious about this. And of course, that practice, that mental training, I mean, athletes in the highest level, they do that. Like the edge, the mental training, and the emotional, psychological, dare I say, spiritual training necessary to be able to handle that level of energy, that magnitude of energy. So you have to be able to develop a practice that is appropriate to you. All the experiences that you've had in the past, in your childhood, your family. There's so many specific things that only you can answer. So yeah, if the question is like, how do I grow, develop my money container? You need to develop a practice of just growing it and developing it. And then, for example, sabihin natin 10K yung initial mo na money container. So, how do I double that? How do I grow it by 25%? And so parang ask these questions. If I double the size of my money container, how would that feel? Can I handle it? Can I take care of it? What am I gonna do with it? Answer those questions for yourself. And my suggestion is usually when you have a vision of the future, if it's just you in that future, it's a bit far from reality. But if you start to think about your loved ones, the people who you want to serve, your community, how will building wealth impact them? How will build you being responsible for more wealth? How will that transform the lives of other people as well? If you're able to think about that and answer that question, then I think you're in the right track. It's closer to reality because at the end of the day, wealth it's meant to be shared in meaningful and thoughtful and good ways. At least in my opinion, it simply has to go beyond you. And so, yeah, there's that's kind of like the psychological, spiritual side of it. In terms of an actual money container, as in like this mason jar, for example. I'm just bringing this up because it's physical money. Pero ngayon kasi mostly digital na talaga yung pera natin, 'di ba? Nasa mga bank accounts. So I would suggest, of course, opening one with the more traditional banks such as BDO or BPI. They're the widest ranging banks here in the Philippines right now, and then some more traditional banks, and then my digital bank so far that I'm using and I recommend are GoTime and CBank. And I have a video on GoTime. I'm gonna make a video on CBank, I think, as well, because those are the two that I like to use right now. I want to explore Own Bank and Discard Tech as well. Kasi yun yung mga what my other friends are using. I have not tried them yet, but maybe I'll try them soon. And then for UITF investments, so far I'm using MIMTC or Manulife Investment Management. Full disclaimer: I'm also a licensed or what's the term? License? Ano ba tawag yan? Qualified? No, not qualified. So I took a test to be a registered UITF salesperson. I can't articulate it properly, but I'm recognized by TOAP, Trust Officers Association of the Philippines, as a registered UITF salesperson. So I have that, and I have my own account, and I'm building my investment account, my UITF account with Manulife Investment Management Trust Corporation. I'm not sure if I'm gonna open other accounts with other banks, but MIMTC so far is serving my need. Just being able to invest in certain funds that I like, such as technology, US, and REITs. It's already serving my investment needs right now. So I don't think I am going to open another investment account somewhere else. Maybe some specific stocks later on, but for now, yan yung mga recommended ko na containers. Dyan pa lang ako nag-invest ngayon. So I guess I'm just sharing with you what's actually happening in my life so that you know na, okay, I'm not just giving some advice that I don't practice myself. I don't do myself. No. So hopefully this video has helped you to kind of think and learn about your money container. If this is the first time that you're thinking about it, let me know in the comments below if parang you like the idea, okay, it makes sense for me, or you've heard this before but don't know how to act on it maybe. Just let me know in the comments if this is useful to you, this kind of content is useful to you kasi medyo psychological and spiritual na ito na side of money. It's not like specific na, yeah, you invest here in this bank and how it works. Meron ding, there's a space for that, but this one, I just wanted to kind of touch on that psychological side of it. Now, just, hindi naman niya hiningi ito na advice si Carlos Yulo, but ako, I think kasi 'di ba may controversy with his family, and that's something that affects your money container, your relationships. Now I think it's good for him to at least earmark a certain amount, maybe 1-2 million, and say thank you to his mom, like one off na parang, ma, thank you for taking care of me throughout all those years. Here's I want to give you a gift of 2 million to honor you and to thank you for that. And then it's a one-off, right? Like, and then maybe, but mom, I need to take some time to just be with myself, work on myself, and maybe 3 to 5 years. I don't know. I just need some time to be away from everything, but that's more than enough to take care of your mom for how siya din ang kailangan mag-manage din yun. Pero 'di ba, yung gesture lang ng anak ba na mag-honor sa kanyang parents. I think that's the right thing to do. I think it's good. I mean, you guys can disagree with me. Some people will say, just forget them because they're all toxic and just, set them aside. And there's also a school of thought for that, but I think ultimately emotionally it will damage you if you don't make amends somehow with specific people, and more so your parents. So I think it's worth just putting in a healthy level of goodwill, and then if it's really something that's super toxic, then stay away from it for a specific amount of years. Can't be open ended as well. Now forever ka na like, I'm gonna face this but not now. Like, I give myself 1-2 years, and then something like that. Create a container for it. Going back to money container, relationships also need containers, but that's another topic that I can talk about, but it's just kind of relevant, of course, to you being able to handle money. Kasi yung relationships mo, it also influences the flow of money, your flow of money, and how you make decisions. So it's also worth looking into when you're doing that practice that I'm talking about. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for hanging out today. This has been the ATP Wealth Podcast, helping you, supporting you, believing in you, and helping you to develop your ability to produce wealth. So, God bless you guys. I'll see you again in the next video.